Now, let's talk about something super important: wealth identity. On this earth, nearly everyone desires some form of financial security, freedom, or ease. Whether they name it as wealth or not, the wish to feel supported and unburdened by money is universal. But in reality, wanting wealth does not mean you are identifying with it. And this difference, subtle but decisive, is where most people unknowingly block the very outcome they say they want. Wealth identity is not about how much money you currently have, nor is it about positive thinking or motivation. It is about who you assume yourself to be in relation to wealth. Do you see money as something natural and expected in your life, or as something distant, conditional, and hard to hold on to? This internal relationship quietly shapes your decisions, your emotional responses, and the opportunities you allow yourself to recognize. Until wealth shifts from being something you want into something that feels normal to you, effort alone will not close the gap. Understanding this is the first step in seeing why so many people remain stuck in wanting, and why true financial change always begins with identity, not desire. Wanting wealth is not the same as identifying with it. Wanting wealth places it outside of you. It positions money as something to be reached, earned, attracted, or obtained later, after something changes. After you become better, more confident, more skilled, more deserving. After conditions improve. Identifying with wealth, on the other hand, is internal. It has nothing to do with optimism or pretending. It is the quiet assumption of being someone for whom wealth is natural, normal, and expected. This is why two people can desire the same outcome and experience completely different results. One remains in a state of pursuit. The other operates from a state of familiarity. The difference is not what they want. The difference is who they believe themselves to be in relation to wealth. Why wanting money keeps people stuck in wanting. Wanting implies lack. Even when the desire is positive, it reinforces the idea that something important is missing now. This creates an internal posture of reaching rather than receiving, effort rather than allowance. Many people unknowingly rehearse this state daily. I just need more money. Once I have enough, I'll relax. I'm trying to manifest abundance. Trying, wanting, hoping. These all keep wealth positioned as a future event, not a present identity. This is why so many people feel busy but unsupported, hopeful but unstable, motivated yet exhausted. They are constantly orienting themselves toward wealth without ever settling into the assumption of it. And because identity drives behavior, perception, and opportunity, the external results reflect that inner posture. The identity gap, where most wealth manifestation breaks down, there is a gap between desire and self-concept. People may want wealth intensely, visualize it vividly, and even believe in manifestation intellectually, yet still carry a self-image that does not match the outcome they are calling in. This gap often shows up as discomfort with receiving, anxiety around larger sums of money, guilt about ease, fear of responsibility or visibility, a sense that wealth would change who I am. These are not flaws. They are signals. They point to an identity that has not yet expanded to hold wealth comfortably. And manifestation, whether one views it spiritually or psychologically, does not override identity. It expresses it. This is why effort alone rarely resolves money struggles. Without a shift in self-concept, progress feels temporary or unstable. Gains are followed by setbacks. Opportunities arrive, but are mishandled or dismissed. Wealth remains something that comes and goes, not something that stays. Poverty consciousness is not about money. It's about self-concept. Poverty consciousness is often misunderstood. It is not simply having little money, nor is it a moral failing. It is a state of self-relationship, a way of seeing oneself as unsupported, overlooked, or fundamentally separate from ease. Someone can earn well and still operate from poverty consciousness. Others may have very little and yet not identify with lack at all. At its core, poverty consciousness sounds like, nothing comes easily for me. I always have to struggle. If I relax, things fall apart. I have to prove my worth. These beliefs are rarely conscious. They are absorbed through experience, environment, and repetition. And they quietly shape what feels safe, possible, and acceptable. Overcoming this pattern is not about forcing positive thoughts or denying reality. It is about revising the internal story of who you are in relation to life, support, and provision. How wealth identity actually shifts, without forcing positivity. Wealth identity does not shift through affirmation alone. It shifts when a new assumption becomes familiar, when the idea of being supported, provided for, and resourced stops feeling foreign or conditional. This often begins subtly, responding to money with less emotion, expecting solutions instead of bracing for problems, feeling neutral rather than excited about abundance, making decisions without desperation. Neutrality is an important sign. When wealth stops feeling like a fantasy or a threat, it begins to feel normal. And what feels normal is what tends to repeat. This inner adjustment is not dramatic, but it is decisive. It is the moment when wealth stops being something you chase and starts being something you allow. Why some people step into wealth naturally and others don't. It often looks effortless from the outside. Some people seem to fall into opportunities, timing, or financial breaks. Others work tirelessly and remain stuck. This is not because life is unfair, but because life mirrors what feels believable and appropriate to the individual. Those who step into wealth naturally are not necessarily more confident or ambitious. They are simply less conflicted internally. Wealth does not threaten their self-image. It does not feel like something they need permission to have. For others, wealth represents risk of judgment, failure, loss, or change. And so, without realizing it, they maintain distance from it. This is why long-term alignment matters more than sudden wins. When identity is stable, outcomes stabilize too. When identity is conflicted, results fluctuate. Wealth is not created. It is accepted. Wealth is not something you convince life to give you. It is something that appears when the internal argument against it quiets down. This does not mean effort disappears or action becomes irrelevant. It means action flows from a different place, not from urgency or fear, but from expectation. When wealth becomes part of how you see yourself, it stops needing to be chased. It begins to organize itself around you, through choices, timing, and opportunities that feel strangely natural in hindsight. The shift is not loud, but it is unmistakable. And it always begins with wealth identity.